And don't ever say I'm not a Nintendo fan. How many of those do you have on your shelves? So hey guys, what's up? Sorry for the hat and whatnot. Bad hair right now. Today's laundry day and I completely forgot about it, so I have nothing to wear. So if you guys hear noises, it's the washing machine kicking on. So I wanted to do this video because my opinion of the Nintendo Switch, I almost said Wii U, the Nintendo Switch has changed quite a bit from yesterday. So officially where I stand right now, not getting one at launch, probably holiday season this year, so towards the end of the year. I've come to this conclusion for a few reasons, but right now for me, and I'm going to say probably for the average person, I don't know if this is something that they want. Or maybe they do. I don't know. I'm really confused. So let's talk about it. I actually made a list on my phone last night and going into today. And yeah, so let's talk about it. So I got a pros and cons list. I'll just go down the list really quick and kind of make points and whatnot. Okay, let's go down pros. What you get for the price seems fair. I know a lot of people don't feel that way. They think $300 is too much. There's some arguments out there that they stuffed a bunch of stuff in there that they feel that didn't need to be in there. Regardless of that, it's in there. Okay, so the thing has like an NFC reader built into the controller, a 3D IR camera apparently can read like hand gestures and stuff like that. It actually has motion sensing in it, which I kind of saw that coming. The odd one I haven't seen is the touchscreen yet. I don't know, maybe I didn't pick up on that at some point, but I didn't see a touchscreen yet. But for what the current Tegra tablets that have Tegra chips in them, the Shield TV, the fact that this thing comes with a dock, comes with the two Joy-Cons, comes with the grip, even though the grip's just a piece of plastic essentially, but you know, it has the grip. It comes with the AC adapters, all that. You have to factor all that in. I think $300 is a fair price, personally. Okay, Zelda at launch. There's a pro. There's a few other games announced this morning. Bomberman R. It sounds like Ultimate Street Fighter 2 is coming. If I got that, I'd want to have a pro controller. I can see doing Dragon Balls on that Joy-Con stick. Sorry, just not a good experience, I don't think. Let's see, what else? Puyo Puyo Tetris, maybe. These three, Bomberman R, Puyo Puyo, and Street Fighter sound like they're cheaper downloadable titles, so you won't get them on cart. ARMS is another one. It's supposedly a $60 game. I don't think it's worth $60 from what I've seen so far. But, you know, I'll admit, after watching it this morning, it definitely has more depth to it. But I don't see it for a $60 game. You know, it's... launches on March 3rd, much sooner than I originally thought. So if you wanted to get one of these like right now and you're like that huge of a Nintendo fan, you can definitely do that. And it seems like the pre-order situation, there's still places you can easily pre-order today, no problem as of doing this video. So yeah, good on Nintendo. 32 gigs of memory. It had to be at least 32 gigs in my mind. I think 32 gigs is a good amount of memory. I'm somebody, I would rather just pay, you know, the full price and get the game downloaded directly to the console than actually getting the cart. I don't care about physical media as much as I used to anymore. I want something I pick up and have my games, and the fact that it has that, and then there's a SDXC expansion on it, and they showed this morning on the treehouse that it can take cards up to 256 gigs, which 256 gig SDHC cards are fairly cheap, you know, they're not that bad, so it's essentially like the price of getting like a hard drive. Battery life, they said 6 hours to 2.5 hours for depending on usage of the console. I'm fine with that. I'm not going to use this anywhere where maybe I'm in a doctor's office or something for an hour or something like that and I want to kill some time. So for me, that's fine. If it's not for you, say down in the comments down below and why. I'm kind of curious on that. Alright, cons. Going back to the battery life. They didn't say how long it takes to recharge. It's USB Type-C. I would hope they'd have a fast charger on there. But they didn't really state that, so... it'd be nice if I had fast charging, or at least charged faster than time it takes to discharge in my mind. Other cons: pay to play online. I'm sorry, Nintendo started the licensing fees back in the NES days, and it's 10 to 20% per game. Doing fees through Steam games and stuff, that's how they tend to pay for it, is every sale of a game has a certain percentage that goes to keeping the Steam store and service up online. And the fact that Valve does it in a lot of ways better than the console makers. I mean, like, the download speeds are like insane. I've seen people on gigabit connections like max out their gigabit connection downloading a game from Steam. And I've seen people on PSN and Xbox wait 6 to 7 hours for a game to download. That is atrocious for a paid service. If they're going to make it paid, make it premium. Okay, that's all I'm saying. Controllers are overpriced. Alright, let me show you the screen on this. So here's the Nintendo site. Here's the console. Alright, Pro Controller. Pro Controller looks cool, I'll give them this. The Pro Controller has NFC built in, it has the HD Rumble built in, it has a gyro and stuff built in. But I'm sorry, with knowing what's in controllers nowadays, it's just... I think asking $70 for this is too much. It feels like I'm kind of being like bent over. I'd like to know why it's so much. In my review of the Xbox controller, I said it was good. There's not really a whole lot bad with it. But it still feels like a $40 product and not a $60 to me. I just feel like controllers, by and large, are mostly overpriced. I'm sorry, I just don't see a way around that. I don't think the plastic in these things is so awesome. Like, you can hear it right there. It's just, I don't know. I don't know if it has a rechargeable battery in it or not. Joy-Cons are $80 for a pair. I would have liked to seen this be, once again, $10 to $20 cheaper, to be honest with you. Joy-Con halves, I guess you want to call them. So single Joy-Con controller. Imagine this is probably out there if you need to replace one if it broke. But $50 compared to $80 for two. It's like, come on, guys. If you're going to charge me $80, then charge me half of what you're going to... That doesn't seem right. And it doesn't make sense to me because it sounds like the left one only has like gyro stuff in it. It doesn't have the sensing IR thing. It doesn't have, the NFC reader. Like, both of those are in the right. So the right should be the more expensive one technologically. But they just split the price on the two and add a premium more for a single one than both. That seems like that makes no sense to me at all. Okay, Joy-Con charging grip. I got an inkling this morning that this was actually supposed to be included with the console, and they decided to make the charging grip just a plastic grip, because I guess the Joy-Cons hold enough of a charge long enough when they're just docked onto the side of the station or constantly charging. And it sounds like that is part of the reason why the battery life is so split there. So depending on how dead the Joy-Cons are can affect the battery life of the console too. The other thing is when it's in dock, and even if it's just in standby, it sounds like those things are still charging until they're completely charged up. So this was, I guess, originally planned to be in it, but I can't verify that. It's just kind of something I heard off the cuff, and then they decided to make it a separate accessory. So if you want a grip that has a battery in it that will charge the Joy-Cons as well, it could help in keeping the battery life of the console when it's on the go from crapping out as early, from what it sounds like. The dock, sorry, I think too expensive. It's essentially a piece of plastic with it's the AC adapter, HDMI. The only thing I can think that's in here technologically, like, I can't see a scalar chip being in there because the NVIDIA Tegra chips already have them in there. Maybe because it's USB-C on the bottom. What's going on is it's using the USB-C connector to transfer the video, and maybe there's a chip in there that has to convert that to HDMI. I've seen stranger stuff before, but that's what I'm thinking, is there's probably some kind of chip inside the dock. But why it's $90, I don't know. Who knows? Why is that G-Sync mod cost so much? Maybe it's an NVIDIA thing, we don't know. Joy-Con wheel set, there's two of them for $15. Seems fair. I'm okay with that. The fact that you're getting two, I think you paid this much for, or even more for just one on the original Wii, so I'm I'm okay with that. Okay, this one's gonna be controversial. I noticed game announcements. I got two here. I've got game announcements and the original things sound sparse and spread out. The treehouse seemed a little bit better this morning. We got to see like the Street Fighter stuff and whatnot, and got to know a little bit more about what's coming out. So I'm not going to say as much about that, but for me, I can only see this being a second system for everybody else out there, unless you're a real diehard Nintendo fan, and this is the thing you're going to get before everybody else. But keep in mind, if you're that type of fan, those are getting few and far between. There's more people that are just kind of general gamers, and this will be their second system. And the reason being is, the fact that they said that there's 80 games in development, they didn't say that, and that doesn't mean every one of those games is going to come out. Those games could be early on, and they're just playing with the technology to see what's going on. But, and sorry for the sound of the dryer or the washing machine in the background draining stuff. The fact that they said that kind of set off an alarm in my head. And then the second thing that set an alarm off in my head about the amount of games. The only real Western games that were announced was FIFA and Skyrim. Most of the stuff is Japanese. And if you love Japanese RPGs and stuff, that's great. I, for the most part, tend not to like them that much. The other thing that they said here was they had Suda51 come out and announce a game that's not even, it's just in a concept. Like, he doesn't even know what it is yet. Like, it's not, he's just thinking about it. He just wants to bring Travis from No More Heroes back to a Nintendo system, and he doesn't even realize what the concept of it is. He doesn't know if it's a wrestling game or what it's going on. But they brought him out on stage because he showed interest, and that just seemed very strange to me. Like, why would you do that? And the only thing I keep thinking of is, do they really not have that much in the pipeline for this thing, that they're bringing people out that don't even have a fully formed idea of what they want to do on it yet? That's kind of, raising a flag. And I'm sorry, it's just like, I'm sorry if I'm hurting some Nintendo guy out there, but think about it logically. You got to see it from my point of view. That's not good. A couple more. They didn't show the online service. The only thing that they said about it is right now it sounds like it's very bare bones. Like I'm talking about, like we're talking to online service like we would have saw in early days of PS3 right now. They didn't show anything about it. They didn't really talk about it, so that's kind of a problem. I don't know what I'm getting into, so I'm not going to go ahead and pre-buy one of these things without that information. That's just me. I'm not going to do it. Other thing, motion control. Okay, it's got motion control. As long as I don't need to use it and I can use buttons, that's fine. It feels like there's a game, like ARMS is a game very much for motion control. I don't understand that in a system that's supposed to be portable. It's like I'm going to be on a plane punching the back of the seat of the person in front of me trying to play ARMS with the thing on the tray table. It's just, I don't know. That seems weird. It makes more sense in something like a Mario Kart game where you can just sit there and tilt or something like that. But yeah, I don't understand the emphasis on all the extra gimmicky stuff with the motion controls and the IR camera and stuff. I don't get it. They didn't say anything about suspend feature. I'm sure it's going to be there, but they didn't say anything about it. They didn't say anything about how long it lasts with the battery, at a certain charge, or say like 80% charge or something like that. I know the suspense feature was on the 3DS, but it was actually pretty energy inefficient, even compared to something like the PS Vita, which sucked up a lot more battery during actual play. That thing cannot hold a charge and any kind of suspend feature, and that's why I'm wondering about this one. Okay, so that's pretty much it for me and my thoughts on the thing. I have some excitement to see like Street Fighter 2 on there. I think that's pretty cool. I think it's cool that they brought that back. Other things I noticed this morning, they were talking about Mario Kart. Mario Kart is running 1080, 60. It's a nice smooth experience. The other thing that watching it didn't look like it was stuttering or anything like that. There was something about the capture that they were doing to the games last night on the Japanese thing where it looked like it, to me it just looked like crap. I'm sorry. Like, I'm not talking about like the draw distance or anything like that. It's just looking at the image, and And the thing you have to put from my point of view, okay, my main system I use every day to game on is a PC. I'm sorry, I can't change that. That's something, and when I see something that I'm not used to that sticks out like a sore thumb, that's going to be a thing in my head, and I think that's a fair assessment. I'm sorry. If the game may be fun or whatnot, and I'll admit when you get to a certain point, but the fact that on the 720 stream it was sticking out to me like, okay, this looks really, really low res. Like, this looks like a GameCube game. But my concerns are kind of put aside now seeing the treehouse stuff, because this morning those games looked great. The sharpness, fidelity of a lot of games, like ARMS, granted there's not much there, looked really, really good. Mario Kart looked really good. What they were showing of Mario at the event looked really good. So my fears of that got kind of put aside. So I have a much more positive outlook on what this thing can actually do now. When it comes to like smoothness, frame rate, I just care if the game's smooth. I don't really give a crap about the frame rate. I will tell you if it drops below 30. For me personally, that's a no. No. It has to stay at least 30. It has to be a consistent 30. It has to stay locked at 30. So that's kind of like my thing. And people are like, oh, frame rate's not important. I'm sorry. It's not that I'm like a PC snob. It's just the fact that I have a PC and I'm used to being able to tune the games to my liking. You know, there's games I don't have everything in high fidelity, so I can have that frame rate, and that's what I like. If you know, and some people have said if that's what you care about, that's what you want. But at the same time, it's like you're asking me to make a leap back in some ways, and if I see something I don't like, I'm just gonna say it. That's my opinion. I'm sorry you don't like it, but that's my channel, my opinion. You want to go tell me what an asshole I am, go make your own channel and go do it. Alright, so that was my thoughts on Nintendo Switch. I will probably be getting one, but not on launch day. So basically, anybody that's getting one, I want to hear from you guys. What do you think about the online service? Do you think it's worth it? What do you think about the interface? What do you think about the games? What do you think about the portability? These are really the things that I'm waiting on. To me right now, there's just not enough information to jump on board. But I do think probably by holiday this year I'll be looking to get one. So, oh yeah, and I should probably also say at the end of these videos now, be sure to follow me on Twitter at Cell Processing. I'll put the thing down below somewhere. We do a show every Sunday, typically every Sunday. I don't know about this week. Joe's got some internet things he's got to work out and stuff. But it's over on Twitch, twitch.tv/Soul Processing. And there we do the Final Savecast live, 3 p.m. Pacific Standard Time every Sunday. And then, be sure to follow me on Twitter, because if it gets canceled or something, or gets substituted for something, I'll put it up there before anyplace else. And then be sure to check out Final Save Point if you're on VidMe or something like that, or VidMe at Cell Processing if you prefer that service as well. Guys, I'll see you later. Peace out.